Thank you to all the witnesses for taking the time to join this very important study, and thank you, Chief Roskamp, for your testimony. I'd like to start with you, because we heard witnesses earlier in this meeting say that the instances of criminals committing crime on bail are outliers. That was the exact word that one of them used. That when criminals commit crimes on bail, they are outliers. Is that your experience on the ground as a police officer, Chief Roskamp?
That is not my experience. The vast majority of individuals committing criminal offenses today are doing so pre-trial in a pre-trial recidivist way.
Just for context here, St. Thomas is a small community, but relatively speaking, fewer than 50,000 people. What is the volume, if you had to estimate, of these prolific offenders, these individuals that you would attribute to engaging in chronic criminality, and what is the burden that your police service is shouldering as a result of those individuals?
That's a great question. I can give you some statistics. Between 2022 and 2025, our police service laid approximately 7,500 criminal code charges. Of those 7,500 criminal code charges, 2,000 were failing to comply with court disposition. Consistently, year after year, we see about 33% of our charges being failed to comply. We have numerous individuals in our community, whether it's intimate partner violence or whether it's chronic criminality from small petty theft, petty crime, up to homicide. We're seeing fail to comply as a major pressing point, and individuals, offenders, understanding the legal system well, they know that bail conditions are rarely enforced. They anticipate delays in the court proceedings. They recognize that even serious charges may not lead to long-term detention. And in fact, it's what we're terming like they're gaming the system. And so I think that, is there any other areas you'd like answered in regards to that, Mr. Lawton?
I think you've addressed the question very well there. What I'm trying to get a sense of is, and you've indicated it there, so nearly 1/3 of all the charges you laid in that particular period of time were bail violations.
Correct.
So explain to me, if you can, Chief Roskamp, the effect this has in particular on smaller communities, because I know historically, 10 years ago, for example, before the Liberal government formed, there was an attitude in St. Thomas and communities of similar sizes across the country that basically these were all big city problems, and now we've seen this trickle down. So what is the effect on your resourcing, given that you are so comparatively smaller than the Torontos and the Vancouvers of the country?
This is a great question. The rise of violence and chronic criminality in small communities, it has far-reaching effects, and it creates widespread fear and trauma in communities and undermines the safety, a sense of safety of our residents. Violent incidents can reduce investment. It can harm tourism. It can increase municipal budgets. It increases municipal budgets, my budget as a police service. And over time, the community's identity shifts. We had between 23 and 24, 22% increase in our crime severity index. Although we had among, a national high and the reduction of non-violent crime severity, that's your break and enters, your mischiefs, your minor thefts, 32% reduction. And so we're proud of that, but it's such fragile gains that we have to be careful. And we're looking at this chronic criminality as being such a pressure point for smaller communities. In 2024, we unfortunately experienced 2 homicides. One of those homicides, a young lady was shot and killed in a parking lot in a downtown corridor. The individual that's alleged to have committed this crime was out on bail. And so it affects communities of all sizes. You do not have to be in large metropolitan centers or in the GTA for this to affect your community. And we're seeing that, and that manifested in a big way post-COVID, that chronic criminality, and it has lasting serious impacts on communities.
You mentioned, Chief Roskamp, in your opening statement, two bills specifically, the Liberal bills C48 and C75. Can you draw a direct line between that legislation and the problems you've been describing?
Simply put, I believe C75 has created less safe communities, is my opinion. Near 30-year career in policing. Releasing individuals at the earliest opportunity with the least onerous conditions has gone too far. It does seem as though almost every individual who faces the court system is released. And to be quite honest, offenders know this, and that's part of the gaming that's occurring today, and that's real. Our main criticisms of C75 are that it removed tools that allow judges to account for long-term criminal history and compliance behavior, resulting in more frequent releases. 48 was a step in the right direction, but it had gaps. It didn't allow for judges to consider anything beyond 5-year limitations with regards to prior convictions. And so we're left with the position we're in now. All we're asking for is better court-level decision-making frameworks, among other areas, and I can get into those if you'd like.
That'll have to be with another member of Parliament. Thank you for your time, Chief Roskamp.